Wow, such a nice day. Isn't it, KeyCat? Hey guys. KeyCat, your scarf. Your scarf. How's it going, guys? Welcome, all of you. We're just here in this beautiful field here today to do a live stream. And we'll get started right at 2 o'clock. So if you're here a bit early, we get to just talk. I'll give some announcements, and we'll get started right at 2. KeyCat, what do you think about this place? Hold on, don't show your scarf to anyone, KeyCat. Yeah. All right, KeyCat, you can hang out over here, and I'm just going to do a lesson, okay? Yeah, they're going to be learning about a few different Korean verbs, so you can watch if you want to. No? Okay. Well, you can sit down here and watch. You're just going to run over there and play around while I'm teaching? Okay. All right. Do whatever you want to do. All right. See you, KeyCat. Okay, so welcome everyone. Yes, again, we're going to be getting started right at 2 o'clock. First, while I was setting up, though, I saw... Why am I strangling I'm not strangling KeyCat. While I was getting set up, actually, I saw my board start flashing. I'm like, it must be broken because it's had problems before. And then I checked and someone already made a donation. So our first supporter today, Yuki, thank you for the 20 Canadian. And you also asked a question, so I wanted to answer that first. You asked, when doing repetitive listening, how many times should I watch or listen to it? Do I stop listening? I think you mean keep listening to the same clip over and over again until I can understand everything. That depends on what your goal is. And I'd say it also depends on what your level is. If you can tolerate it, listen to it until you can really hear it and understand it. But if you're still at the beginner level, it's going to be hard to get anything out of listening to a clip more than a few times. Because you keep listening to it and you don't understand it. You listen to it again. Are you going to understand it if you don't know the words? No, you can listen to a clip 1,000 times and still not understand it if you don't actually know those words. You don't have them in context because you don't know what they mean. And there's just too much stuff you don't know yet. Though if you're just trying to learn pronunciation, then yeah, I mean, listen to it as many times as you can stomach it. But if you're trying to do it for like learning like the grammar, learning new grammar and learning new vocabulary, no, I don't think it's going to be that effective. I mean, it's not going to hurt you to listen to it a lot, but I think it would be better if you could understand it. So listen to it until you can kind of get the words, you can hear as much as possible, but then move on to the next clip. You get more out of doing more variety than just the same clip 100 times. So yeah. And welcome everyone else as well. Grant James, hello, Small, Becca Lynn. Let's see who else is here. Ocean Discovery, Lauren Wilson. Let's see. Cheryl, of course. Who else is here? I think that's all I can see right now. Hopefully I'm not missing any of the members here early. Oh yeah, Secretive, hello. And few announcements before we get started. Of course, our lesson today is going to be beginner level, but you still need to know a few things before you can follow along today's lesson, one of which is knowing how to conjugate action and descriptive verbs, basically how to make simple sentences. If you can't make simple sentences yet, by that I mean sentences. They don't have to be perfect, just something. Then you wouldn't be able to use what we're going to be learning today. So at least make sure you're familiar with the basics of the basics. And I have lessons about how to conjugate verbs, both action verbs and descriptive verbs, both as just conjugating them regularly, as well as how to conjugate them into adjectives. So like how to use descriptive verbs before a noun, like to say the cold weather, or how to say action verbs like the running man, that type of thing. Running Man. Oh, that's right. That was the TV show. Oh yeah. So other announcements, of course, is you can get a worksheet for today's live stream right now on Patreon. I think there are 12 example sentences. You can translate stuff from English to Korean as well as Korean to English. You can get that right now. And after this live stream finishes, you'll also see this whole outline there as well. Oh, I saw something flash out of the corner of my eye. I wasn't sure if that was my light or if this was this board. Cheryl. Oh yeah, Cheryl. New member. Welcome. I thought you were already a member. I see you so much. I see you all the time. Welcome. Yeah, you even come to my my other YouTube. The pinwheels behind you are so pretty. Oh, One Little Mermaid, welcome. Okay, another update is this is something I just started last Sunday, but I think I'll try to keep doing it if I can. Members have a new benefit that they also get. In addition to members getting, your badges, getting to use your icons. Oh, and another member. I just saw that. Tash Noir. Tash Noir, welcome. Thank you, and welcome to the fan club. Welcome to the family. I was just saying, there's a new benefit for members that I just started on Sunday. That is right after these live streams finish. Normally you get access to, Patreons will normally get access to the outlines, but YouTube members now will also have another thing. The night after a live stream, so tonight, after I've edited this live stream, I normally put it up for everyone on Wednesday. Well, I'm starting to do a thing where, just on Sunday, where the members who are, YouTube members also will get to watch that video tonight if they want. So in addition to getting the whole live stream today, you can rewatch it later tonight, also when YouTube processes it. Then also tonight, sometime before midnight, you can also watch the edited version of today's live stream. So you get that 2 or 3 days before everyone else. That's just a new small member benefit that I started adding. I can't do it every week, but I did it last week and I'll try to keep doing it as much as possible. Owain. Thank you, Owain. Is that how I say it? Owain? I've been learning Korean for a few months and I'm definitely learning what I'm studying, but I can't really get it all to connect in my head. Oh, first let me write down your name up here. Thank you. Owain. Oh, wait, I got to do a dab for Owain. I just saw the board flash red. Hold on a second. Owain, I gotta do yours quick before I look at this next one, because I see Ocean Discovery just made a donation too. I'll get to that right next. I'm learning for a few months. I can't really get it to connect. Yeah, a few months is too short. I'd say if it's possible, try to increase your exposure to the language. So that could be watching more dramas, like just casual exposure, things that are fun, that keep you motivated, but are using the language. Try to increase your exposure to the language, and then try to make sure you're focusing mostly on the grammar. And if you want to improve your speaking more, I would say get a pen pal as soon as possible. And have someone that you can practice a little bit of Korean here or there with. But the idea is you kind of need to get into that Korean mode, into the mode where you're using Korean more so that it can stick better. Because if you're not able to use it, it's not going to stick very well. And that you'll start to feel that even more if you continue without getting more practice opportunities. So yeah, get a pen pal. And Ocean Discovery. I just saw yours right while I was checking that. Ocean D. Wow, thank you. Gotta do a dance party for that. And you commented something. Let's see what you commented. Thank you for helping me in my Korean journey. At some point today, could you show us how to make your Anki cards and how you learn vocabulary? How to make Anki cards. That's a, okay. All right, Ocean D, let me put a note here. Okay, so you want to know how I make Anki cards plus how I learn in context. Okay, Ocean D, ask me again. I wrote it down, but in case I don't do it the way, in case I don't answer it in the way you want, remind me again after the lesson, and I'll do a short explanation of how I make my Anki deck. Because yeah, I started doing a lot more Anki than normal recently, I'm trying to build up the Anki deck before I share it again with my Patreon members. Cool. And did anyone else come in here while I was doing the dab party? I almost said hi to Nightbot. Nightbot's always here too. Okay. The other announcement, of course, is there. Oh yeah, I already announced that. Never mind. And then next Sunday, there will be no live stream. Remember, we do 3 live streams in a row. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. And then we take 1 Sunday off. And then we start again with 3 more. So this next Sunday is going to be off. There's no live stream this next Sunday. But the next Sunday, there will be again. So yeah, just letting you guys know that. I became a Patreon member. Now I'm also a YouTube member. Nice. Yeah, I figured you were already a member, Cheryl, because you pop up in like every live stream and every video that I upload. I'll see your comments. Where do you share the Anki? Well, I have a Anki deck that I share on my Patreon page, but I posted it, I think, toward the end of last year, I want to say, maybe October or something. And I posted it has about 1,500 words or so, but I want to update it because I realized it just has my unusual words. It has the words that I really felt I needed to write down because I had learned them and I couldn't find them anywhere else. Well, I realized, maybe I can just make an Anki deck with like every single word that I come across just for more fun. So I started adding in a lot of the words that I normally, either I already knew them, but I don't think other people know them, or I think they would be useful to know. So I'm adding in all of those. And most of them, I'll say 90% of these words are advanced. I'm not writing down any beginner words. And with that said, even many intermediate words, it's like 90% advanced vocabulary. So yeah, it's just something I'm working on. I'm trying to expand it right now. And after I get a few more words, then I'll update it again, but it might not be for a few more months because I want to make sure I have a significant number of new words, because if I just upload the file, then anyone would have to delete the old one and use the new one if they want to get those new words, I believe. Need to up my Patreon once Billy updates his Anki deck. Yeah, but if you want to get the one that I uploaded last year, it's still on Patreon right now. Okay, and we will get started in just 5 minutes. So I always start early because in the past, we've had issues with the stream. It's still party time. What is this? Okay, that was totally intentional. I've done that before. See, this is why we start early, so we can get these bugs worked out. So we make sure it all works out well. Hey, Jordy. Jordy, message retracted. I don't know what you said, but welcome, Jordy. Let's see. Oh, maybe Jordy was telling me about the dab party was still on. I'm just going to guess that. Dilly dally. Wait, am I late? No, you are not late. You are early. We have not started yet. We're just wasting time for 3 more minutes, and then we'll get started with our lesson. Forever dab parties. Yep. Okay. Yes. But yeah, last Sunday after the live stream, I quickly edited the video. I think it's like 3 hours. I edited the whole video, and then I posted it as a test just to see. And yeah, the members liked it. So, hey, Mikey, he likes it. So I think I'm going to keep trying to do that every week as long as I can edit it the same day. I'll edit the abridged version like I normally post on Wednesday, but I'll edit it Sundays. So then I can post it Sunday night. So even if you missed the live stream, or if you came to it and you just want to rewatch it, you'll get to see the abridged version the same day before everyone else. Because I mean, you guys are paying to support me, so I want to make it worth a little bit more than just emoticons. Okay, I found a pen pal in the Tandem app. Yeah, that works. Tandem, HelloTalk, the website, Interpals, Conversation Exchange. Yeah, there are a lot of places you can find pen pals. Or if you want to just jump into the deep end, you can search for I guess 동아리 is probably fine. 동아리 is like group, so you can search for like a club or a group for something that's you're interested in. Or 동호회, I guess could also be. Yeah, either one. And you can search for a group online of people who are interested in a specific hobby, if you have a specific hobby that you like, and find Koreans who also enjoy that hobby. And this is better if you live in Korea. They might have meetups. They might talk online, like say you're into Dungeons and Dragons, right? Or whatever. Then you can search that type of club in Korean, and you'll find Koreans who like that. And you can meet Koreans through there. So whatever your interest is, and you might not be able to do that depending on what kind of interest you have, if it's something that would have clubs for it. But that's just another chance, another thing you can do if you are kind of at an intermediate level and you can have conversations and you want something more than just pen pals. Great. And yeah, the Discord channel also has a lot of other like-minded Korean learners too. Carrie Rich, welcome, Carrie. Okay, let's get started. We're going to be learning about 4 special verbs today and a little bit extra. But before we get started with these verbs, there is something that you need to know first. All of these verbs are related to these 3 words. And you might already know these words. 이, 그, 저. Understanding these 3 words first will make learning the 3 verbs we're about to learn much easier and will make much more sense. So, 이 is an adjective. In fact, all of these are adjectives. 이 means this. 그 means that. And 저 also means that. For more information, though, this is just how you translate it in English. But for more information, this is referring to something that is close to the speaker. And that's the same in English. So like this thing, this idea, right? This place, this camera, anything like that, something close to the speaker. 그, however, is something that is, when you're using it, it's something that's close to the listener. So you wouldn't say 그 for something that's like far off in the distance. You would say 그 for something it's not close to you, but it's more like it's close to the listener. So that. And this is also similar to English. So you might think this is kind of obvious, right? You're like, Billy, of course, I know how to say this and I know how to say that. In fact, I already know how to say 저 in Korean. Hurry it up a bit, right? No, this is important. 저. Is that something that's farther from, that is something, 저 is something that is far from both the speaker and the listener. Oh, I got a donation. Oh, I got 2 members. Cool. Maybe because I mentioned that I'll post the summarized version of the live stream tonight. I got a couple more members. Caesar! 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 Caesar, welcome! Or is it Kaiser? I guess it could be Kaiser. Caesar or Kaiser. I'm not really sure. I thought it was always Caesar, but then I played a game and the character was pronounced as Kaiser. Maybe it's the same thing. And then Sarah. Welcome, Sarah. Le Crenier. Le Crenier. Is that how you pronounce your last name when you introduce yourself? Sarah, welcome. Let's put Sarah L. Yay, more members. Yeah, it's new member day. We've gotten 4 new members today. This is great. If I get a few more members, it'll even let me add another emoticon. So think of what you would want for another emoticon. I always make them animated, even though they don't animate here. You can see them on Discord. Okay, so E, something close to the speaker. This. 그, something close to the listener. So I'm saying it, but it's close to you. It's close to someone else. 그, that. And 저. It's not close to me. It's not here. I would never say that thing. I would never say that thing into something someone's holding. I would say that thing, that something, to something that's far from both of us. So that's how these three work. And these are directly related to the words we're going to be learning today. But we're not done with these. This distance, close to the speaker, close to the listener, far from the speaker and the listener, is not just physical. So it doesn't have to necessarily be the physical location of something. Like, of course, this paper, that paper next to you, or that paper over there, that's a physical distance, a literal distance. But it doesn't have to be a physical item. This can be referring to this idea, as in my idea in that sense. That idea, that thought, your thought. 저 생각, that thought over there, something else, someone else's thought. So it doesn't have to just be a physical thing. It can also be like metaphorically, something close to me, something close to you, something far away from both of us. So that's in the sense these are used. These words, though, also have many, many other forms. So we're not done with them. I'm actually going to keep them up here. Okay, now let's look at three nouns. Actually, this one, when it's used as a noun, we're gonna do a different word. It's not called 여기, meaning here. 거기, meaning there. And 저기, also meaning there. These three words come from 이, 그, and 저. And in fact, the old Korean word for them was 여기, 그어기, 저기 is like an algi sound. So that's why it doesn't look like it came from the same word, but it did. 여기 came from 이, 거기, 저기, like that. Here, right here, around me, next to me, the speaker. 거기, over there, by you, the listener, or someone you're looking at, someone else, not you. 저기, over there, away from both of us, right? Okay, we're not done though. All right, the next thing is also a noun. How are we? I'm just going to check the chat for a second so I don't miss anything. Apparently he really does. Oh, yeah, 철수. Yes, that is the rumor around the streets these days. Okay. And finally, 이것, 그것, 저것. These are nouns. So, literally, you have a combination of 이, 그, and 저, the adjective, together with the noun 것. 것 literally means thing. So, 이것 literally means this thing. 이것, 그것, that thing, by you. 저것, that thing over there. So if you want to say this is a pen, well, you're literally saying this thing, 이것, 이것이 펜이에요. 이것은 펜이에요. However you want to say it. This thing is a pen. That thing is a camera. 저것, that thing over there is a pizza. So literally when you're saying this, that, and that, you're saying this thing, or that thing, when you're using it as a noun. If you wanted to say, I like this pen, well, then you're not saying this 이것 pen. That doesn't make any sense. You're saying 이 pen. You're not saying this thing. You're saying this pen. 이 pen. So this pen is black. 이 펜이 검정색이에요. I'm not going to write it down. I'm just giving you some examples. So keep that in mind. Whenever you're saying 이것, 그것, or 저것, what you're really saying is this thing or that thing. And yes, although we're not going to be going into more detail about these three words today, in spoken language, when you're saying just these words, 이거, 그거, 저거, are much more common than the full versions, but it has the same meaning. Now, in some combinations, you'll still need to go back and say 이것, 그것, or 저것. There are some words when you add them with different particles that you have to use one or the other. But if you're just trying to talk about this, that, or that as is, and you just want to attach a marker to it, like un, i, like that, or ka, If you're just attaching a marker to it, it's okay to always say 이거, 그거, or 저거. So far we've been talking about just these three words, but in fact, our entire lesson today is about these three concepts, 이, 그, and 저. And if you can understand that, it'll really help you to get everything else and the differences between them. We're going to do also one more we haven't talked about yet. We'll do that next. But okay, so let's move on to our first verb. Make sure you guys are still alive. Oh, and welcome, Ahimang. Okay. So would 빨간 그것? No, because you're saying red that thing. You don't need to say that thing. You can just say 빨간 것, red thing. 그것 literally means that thing. Okay. So we're going to be learning in this lesson about three verbs, 이렇다, 그렇다, and 저렇다, as well as 어떻다 and a few others. But let's first focus on 이렇다, 그렇다, and 저렇다, as they are in the title. First, 이렇다. Remember, everything we're going to be learning today with these three verbs has to do with 이, 그, and 저. So first we have 이렇다. 이렇다. 이렇다 means, well, 이렇다 first of all is a descriptive verb, and it means to be this way. As in, not this direction, as in to be like this. Like this is how it is. It is like this. It is this way, in that sense. 이. When I say this, I'm talking about something that's close to me, whether physical or metaphorically. Something that's close to me, it's like this. So if I'm going to say it's like this, well, I can say it's like this thing here that I'm holding. So we're doing with 이렇다. Now, of course, I'll be giving you plenty of examples with this. This conjugates, in fact, all of these 렇다 forms, all of these 렇다 ending verbs conjugate as 래, 요, in the 요 form. So here, 이, 레요. Next, we'll also learn 그, 레요, 저, 레요. Well, except 어때요, because that's not the 렇다. Anything with the 렇다 will become 레요 when it conjugates. So these three verbs we're going to be learning will all conjugate in this same way. So let me give you an example sentence using that. Okay. Now, you can translate these verbs in a variety of different ways to make natural sounding sentences in English. For this sentence, let's just focus on the literal meaning of what it is. So we have 문, a door, 왜, why, 이래요, from 이렇다. So this is just the basic, straightforward present tense conjugation in the 요 form for 이렇다. So to be so, or to be like this, to be this way, to be like this, to be this way. So door, why like this? So why is the door like this? Or why is the door this way? So why is the door this way? Why is the door like this? So an example of this would be you're walking up to a door and you're opening it and the door opens the opposite direction. You're like, 문이 왜 이래요? Why is the door like this? 이, something close to the speaker. This is directly relating to me, like, or something close to you, like this. You're not saying a door over there, 이래요. That would not make any sense. You're talking about here. Why is the door like this? I opened it, I pulled it down, but the door opened the opposite direction. Like this is messed up. What is it? Or maybe the handle's on one side and the door opens the other way. So you can be like, 문이 왜 이래요? 문이 왜 이래요? Why is the door like this? Or why is the door this way? This, here, close to the speaker, the way that I'm saying. 문이 왜 이래요? Let's do another form. 이렇게. 이렇게 is the adverb form of 이렇다. to be so, to be like this. Sorry, not to be so. That could be our next one. It could be to be so, but ignore that. To be this way or to be like this. This is the adverb form of it. And it means in this way. Or like this. So 이렇다 means to be this way or to be like this. Well, this is the adverb form. So because it's an adverb, it's going to be together with a verb because it's an adverb. Well, it doesn't have to be. It could also be with another adverb, but it'll be with something else. So it'll be modifying something. Typically, that's a verb. It could also modify an adverb. It could be a descriptive verb or an action verb. So in this way or like this. So let's do an example. 왜? Again, why? 왜 이렇게 맛있어요? 왜? Why? 이렇게 this way or like this. 맛있어요. 왜 이렇게 맛있어요? Literally, why is it delicious? Why does it taste good like this? Why does it taste good in this way? Or in English, you'd probably translate this as so. And you can ask me if this brings up a question, you can ask me it a little bit later. But you can translate this as naturally as so. Why does it taste so good? Or why does it taste this good? Right? This. 이렇게 맛있어요. 왜 이렇게 맛있어요? You're eating something. You're it tastes so good. 왜 이렇게 맛있어요? Why does it taste so good? As in this me, close to me. Why does it taste so good? Like, you're eating something. 왜 이렇게 맛있어요? Wow, this is incredible. Why does this taste so good? As in this good. Why does it taste this good? Like that. Okay. I want to quickly go through the rest of these examples so we can go to our next part because I want to have plenty of time for questions. But we are on time. Okay. Now I'm going to go and do the same thing with the other two verbs. And you'll notice that they work the exact same way as those two examples I just gave you. 이렇다 becoming 이래요 and 이렇다 becoming 이렇게. We're going to do the same thing now with 그렇다 and 저렇다. So next we have 그렇다. Remember, 그렇다, that, as in close to the speaker. So not next to the listener, but more close to the speaker. It doesn't have to be something the speaker's holding. It doesn't have to be right next to the speaker, but it's kind of in that vicinity. Vicinity? It's kind of in that vicinity. I can't speak English. 그렇다. And 그렇다 means, as you'd guess, just like 이렇다, but in that way. Or like that. So, to be in that way, or to be like that. So that's what 그렇다 means. To be in that way, or to be like that. So it would also conjugate the same way. Remember I told you that 그렇다 conjugates to 네, 요 in the standard present tense 요 form conjugation. 그래요, 그래요. Before we had 이래요, now we have 그래요. So let's do an example. Now, I'm not going to explain this grammar form here for this lesson. It just means because. It's the 서 form, which I have a lesson about in another live stream, from 이다 to be. So because it is, 처음 is the first time. So because it is the first time, 그래요. It is that way. It is like that because it's the first time. That. Something else. So, if you are playing chess, and no, you're not playing chess. You're watching someone play chess. You're standing next to someone playing chess. And you see a beginner beat a grandmaster. No, let's do this. Let's make this a little easier to understand. You see a beginner lose to someone else, right? Not a grandmaster, just a regular player. So you're watching two people play chess. Let me say this again. You're watching two people play chess. One of them's a complete beginner. The other one's had some experience. And of course, the beginner loses at chess. The beginner looks at you. It's like, I lost. Why did I lose? You can be, 처음이라서 그래요. 처음이라서 그래요. 처음이라서 그래요. Literally, it is that way. It is like that. It is so. You can also think of this as meaning like to be so, like that is in that way. It is that because it's your first time. It's because it's your first time. As in literally, it is like that because it is your first time. 처음이라서 그래요. 처음이라서 그래요. That. So you're not talking about yourself. You're not saying you lost because 그래요. You could say 이래요. You're saying 처음이라서 그래요. That is so. Because it's your first time. 처음이라서 그래요. 처음이라서 그래요. It is so. It is like that. What happened in that way? It happened in that way because it's your first time. Don't worry, we're not done with these verbs. I'm just introducing the, let's do one more example. I'm just introducing each of these in those two forms first, but we will be doing some more examples with them. Okay, the next one we have is 그렇게. Again, the adverb form of 그렇다. And this also means in that way or like that. Or it could be so, just in translation, but literally in that way or like that. So let's do an example with this. 그렇게 하면, literally, if you do in that way, if you do it like that, if you do it in that way, 다쳐요. 다치다 means to get hurt. 다치다. So conjugated 다쳐요. 그렇게 하면 다쳐요. Literally, if you do it like that, you'll get hurt. If you do it like that, you'll get hurt. That. So this is not me. I'm not talking about myself. I'm not saying 이렇게 하면, like this. I'm saying like that. You. I'm talking to you. So let me give you another example to illustrate this. I'm standing with another person and he's going to use the bandsaw. So he's going to cut something on his desk and he's putting his hand right here on top of the wood. Now, if anyone's ever used a bandsaw or done sawing before, you never put your hand next to the blade, right? You can get hurt, even if you're probably going to be okay. Don't put your hands here. So you can say to that other person, 그렇게 하면 다쳐요. If you do it like that, if you do it in that way, you'll get hurt. Now let's say Charsu walks by. Charsu is away from me and away from the listener. So me and my friend, we're talking here. Charsu walks by. Charsu starts using the bandsaw and he puts his hand like that too. You could tell Charsu, 저렇게 하면, 저렇게. Because you're talking to your friend, you're still talking with your friend, but you're pointing at Charsu. 저렇게 하면, if you do it like that, over there, away from me, away from the person I'm talking to, like that. 저렇게 하면 다쳐요. If you do it like that, you're going to get hurt. And we're going to do 저렇게 next. I'm just giving you an example. 그렇게. So this is directly to the listener or something around the listener. 그렇게 하면, literally, if you do it like that, 다쳐요. You'll get hurt. You get hurt if you do it like that, if you do it in that way. Okay. Are you guys doing okay? Is it too fast? Is the pace okay, or you want me to slow down? Let me know. Because we are doing okay on time, so I don't have to rush. But yeah, I don't want to go too slow, but I don't want to have to rush. All right. Let's do the next one. So we've done 이렇다 and we've done 그렇다, just basically. There are other forms we haven't gone over yet. Now let's do the next one, 저렇다. This one I think people have the most trouble using because they think, oops, why can't I write? Because in their brains they're thinking of like this, right? 이렇다, oh, easy. 그렇다, easy, yeah, that. But this is also that in your heads. So try to think of it more as in location, not as in the word this and that. Think of E as like here, this location, more than thinking of it as meaning the word here, right? K as in the location next to the listener, the person, whoever you're talking with. It can be multiple people or one person. Whoever you're talking with is K. Chol is someone that's kind of outside of the conversation if it's a person, or something that's kind of outside of our immediate discussion. So it can be an idea, like that idea that I haven't brought up yet, right? Actually, we could talk about, if you remind me after the lesson, remind me about how chol can change into K. If someone reminds me, I can talk about it afterward. Anyway, chorota, that would be like an advanced thing. Chorota, also, chol, there, that, something that's not next to me, the speaker, and not next to you, the listener, but something over there, that. So this one is, of course, as you might guess, this one means to be like that, or to be that way. As in that, not something that's directly next to me or related to me or directly next to you or related to you, but something that's kind of off, something that's not close to me or the listener, something that's off over there. Or it also could be something really far away. Doesn't have to be really far, just has to be not next to me or the listener. So, chorota, to be like that. And this one also conjugates the same by ending with de, yo, in the yo form. So let's do an example. Chol, over there, that. 꽃, that flower. chol, 꽃은. I guess I have to bring this up. 꽃, and in fact, most Korean words that end with this letter, it ends up getting pronounced as this in casual conversation. I could say 저 꽃은, 꽃은, right? This is a chiat. It should flow right through. And it can. 꽃은, 저 꽃은. But nobody actually says that in real conversation. If this also were the E, you could say 꽃이, but most people say 꽃이. It's just a quirk. And there are a lot of words in Korean actually that end with this letter. And people change it to a just regular siot in conversation. So it's not technically correct, but the people who say it's not technically correct still use it, still say that anyway. So yeah, just letting you know. 저 꽃은, notice my pronunciation. 꽃은, 왜, why, 저래요. So maybe by now you can guess what the sentence would literally mean. 저, over there. That flower, 왜, why, 저래요? Why is it that way? Why is it like that? You wouldn't say 저 꽃은 왜 이래요? That doesn't make any sense because 저, over there, 이래요, here, like this. Like 저 꽃은, and you jump over like, what is it, Quicksilver from X-Men, I think? And you're like, oh, 왜 이래요? Yeah, then that can be a joke you could do. If you're like super fast, then yeah, you can change it. 저 꽃은 왜 이래요? Why is that flower like that? So maybe you see a really strange looking flower that's like growing upside down, right? You mean 저 꽃은 저 꽃은 왜 저래요? Why is the flower like that? Like that. That way, not something here. It's not a flower here. It's not a flower next to the listener. It's a flower over there. In that way, to be like that. Why is the flower like that? Or what's wrong with the flower, right? Why is the flower that way? In that way. That sense. Let's do another. 저렇게. 저렇게 is in that way. Or just like that. So in that way or like that, and it's an adverb. So just like we had 이렇게 and 그렇게, we also have 저렇게, in adverb form of like that. You also might translate it as so, depending on the situation. Okay, so let's give an example. 저렇게, in that way or like that. 해도, literally even if I do it in that way, 돼요? Is it okay if I do it in that way? Is it okay if I do it like that? So you're doing exercise like this, okay? 이렇게. You're exercising like this. And the person you're talking to, he's doing exercise 그렇게. But you see a guy over there and he's doing exercise like this. 저렇게. So you ask your teacher like, hey, teacher, 저기요. You wouldn't say that to your teacher. 선생님. 네. 저도. Me too. 저도 저렇게 해도 돼요? Can I do it like that? And the guy's over there. And the teacher comes up and says, 저렇게 하면 안 돼요. Yeah, like that. 저렇게, in that way. So you wouldn't say 그렇게 to the guy over there doing like this because he's not next to you. He's not the listener of the conversation. And you wouldn't say 이렇게. Here, you would have to say 저렇게 because it's something away from you. 저렇게, like that, in that way. If, however, you were to talk to your teacher, 선생님, 저 이렇게 해도 돼요? Then that's fine because now you're saying 이렇게. Now you're saying you're doing the example that you want to do. But if you're talking about the other person, 저렇게, he's doing this, not you, then you have to say 저렇게 because it's someone else over there. It's probably Charsu doing that exercise wrong. Okay. Those are just the basics though. There is a little bit more we have to do about these verbs. And we haven't even talked about our fourth verb yet. But I think that learning those three first, 이, 그, and 저, will let you master the other fourth one as well because it works in the exact same way. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is 어떻다. Now, to be how, or to be like how, or to be what way. You're not normally going to need, let me say it again. You're not normally going to need to use this verb in this form. And in fact, you don't even need to use most of the time 이렇다, 그렇다, and 저렇다. You're not going to need them in that form most of the time either. There could be cases where you would. But typically, you don't need them in that form. This one, though, 어떻다, works in the same way as 이, 그, and 저. It works in the same way as those other three verbs, although the conjugation will be a bit different. But now this is an unknown. So to be how? To be like how? To be what way? Before we had 이렇다, to be like this, in this way. 그렇다, to be like that, in that way. Or 저렇다, to be like that, in that way, right? And we had the regular conjugation of them, 이래요, 그래요, and 저래요. And we also had the adverb form, 이렇게, like this, 그렇게, 저렇게. We can do those same forms with here, but now it's not known. So this is how, in what way, that sort of sense. And let me give you an example. 이건 is the same thing as 이것은. So it's just 이것, this thing, 은, topic marker. So let's talk about this thing. 이건 어때요? So 어떻다 conjugates as 어때요. Before we had 돼요, 돼. Now we have 돼, 돼요, 돼요, 돼요. Me say, I probably shouldn't sing it. I'll get copyright strike. Okay, so 어때요? 이건 어때요? Literally, as for this thing, how is it? It is what way? It is how. How is it? So how is this? So you hold up your teacher asks you to go buy a pen, and you bring the teacher back her pen. You're like, 이건 어때요? How is this pen? Your teacher says, no, that's not the pen I wanted. Then you can pull out a different pen. 이건 어때요? How is this one? Literally, how is it? In what way is it? Right? It is like how. So how is it? What way is this pen? How is it? Like, what do you think? So asking how something is, just like in English, is one way that you can ask for someone's opinion on something. So how is it? Literally, how is it? But also, how is it? What do you think? How is it? How is this thing? Right? 이건 어때요? Okay. I'll write up the next sentence, and then I'm going to take a minute break and look at the chat. The next one is 어떻게. Again, 어떻다, you remove the ta and attach ke to make the adverb form. So this is how. This is the regular adverb for how you say how. Or in what way. Just like 어떻다 meant to be what way, well, this by itself also means in what way. 어떻게. 어떻게. Now, due to sound change rules, I'm going to point this out. Because you have a hiat before a kiok, this kiok becomes a strong version of itself. So it becomes a kiok. 어떻게. 어떻게. It's not 어떻게. It is pronounced as 어떻게. And this is important because there's another word we're going to learn later, next, that also has the same pronunciation but a different meaning and a different spelling, actually. 어떻게. So, how? In what way? How? Tell me. I don't know. In what way? That sort of sense. And you can use this as an adverb. So let's do an example. 어떻게 만들다 means to make something. So let's just conjugate it normally. 어떻게 만들어요? How do you make it? Or in what way do you make it? So your friend brought a cake to school, and, well, maybe not your friend. Someone you know at school brings a cake. 이거 어떻게 만들어요? 어떻게 만들어요? How do you make it? How do you make this? Right? I want to make it too. 어떻게 만들어요? How do you make it? In what way? The process. What's the way that you make it? Literally, how do you make it? In what way do you make it? Like that. And since it's an adverb, it'll also always go directly before what it is modifying. In this case, it's the action verb, 만들다. But it could also be 어떻게 똑똑해요? How are you smart? Or how is he or she smart? Or in what way is he smart? But it'll always come before what it's talking about. 어떻게 만들어요? How do you make it? Okay. Let's take a 1-minute break, and I'll check the chat. Oh, actually, while we're taking a break, I'm just going to write it up. The next thing we're going to do. We're going to talk about 어떡하다. But I'm just going to take a 1-minute break and check the chat. Make sure I'm not missing out on anything. 35. All right. Whoa! I almost spit out my... I almost swallowed my drink the wrong way because I saw that right when I was swallowing. Becca! Whoa! Becca's in 2 weeks in a row. Becca's our producer. Producer Becca, dang. Also, Alex Full Metal. Nice, thanks. Alex Full Metal, I'll give you a quick dab. Thank you as always, Alex. Always appreciate it. And Becca, our producer for today. I gotta make a better dab for the producers. Yeah, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. It's a bit much. I think it's okay. We're good. Good. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Dang. It's huge. Huge support. Thank you. And yeah, the producer gets a little credit at the end of the video, in case if you guys watch the abridged versions. At the end of the video, whenever there's a producer, someone who gives a big donation, we put a big thank you at the end. All right. And Carrie, as always, Carrie will not be outdone. Carrie, thank you. Wow. It's been a good day for donations. I should do live streaming every week. Wait, that's not really a joke. I do live streaming every week. Wow. Okay, we got to do another one. Carrie, we got to do another one. You're the best. Go Billy. Thank you. I should say, what was it? What is it Keanu Reeves said? You're breathtaking, right? Cool. Let's do kimchi. What am I doing? Guys, I should tell you it's actually my birthday this week. I'm gonna turn 34. What am I doing with my life? I'm wearing the same hat I was wearing over 8 years ago when I started the channel. I'm carrying around a teddy bear. And I'm turning 34 this week. Nice. Thank you though, really appreciate it. Let's get back to the lesson. Happy birthday. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the happy birthday messages. You look like 27. Thanks. That's because I never get outside. I'm always in here live streaming and editing videos. I can't go outside. So that accounts for the cave skin here, you know, like from living in a cave. I don't get any sunlight. Get out. Don't try to deprecate your brand success. Nice. How old is KitKat? My hat is more than 8 years old. My hat is 11, at least 11 years old. Probably before that too. And KitKat is, I think, also 11 now. 10 or 11. Yeah, KitKat I think is 10 or 11. Okay, back to the cave skin. Yes, back to the lesson. And yes, the hat is. I'm getting some more kind of hats. I think maybe I'll bring one to whenever I can go back to Korea, whenever I can someday do another fan meeting. I'm planning on bringing a hat as well as some other prizes if I can work it out for that. Okay, back to the lesson. That was a good break. The next word we're going to be learning about is otokada. Otokada. Again, anytime you have a hiat that comes before or after a regular base consonant, kiot, tigut, chiat, piat, specifically these four, it will get transformed into its strong version. So, otokada is how you pronounce it. It's not otokada. But if you say otokada, it becomes otokada anyway. It's just a natural feature of language. So it's not really a rule so much as it'll happen naturally if you say it. Okay, otokada means actually means a few things, but it's kind of difficult to translate in English. Don't think too much about the English translation, but we'll talk about how it's used. Literally, it means, I should say this is an action verb. And it means to do. To do what? To do what? Or to do how? To do what or to do how? Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? In that sort of sense. This is not the regular way you'll ask someone, what are you going to do? It's more like to do what about something. So let me give you an example. The most common example is this. You'll hear lots of people ask this question. Billy, when do I say this and when do I say this? Because they have the same sound, especially if there's no yo at the end here. Otoke. And this one also. Otoke. Exactly like this. Well, we learned that otoke means how or in what way. Otokada means to do what, to do how, to do what about something. Otokeo literally means what are you going to do about it? Or how are you going to do something, right? If you're faced with a problem, if you're faced with something you need to solve, you can ask someone, otokeo, literally, what are you going to do? Or how are you going to do that? right? In that sense. Not literally, what is the thing you are going to do, in which case you would use 뭐 할 거예요, right? Or 뭐 해요. That's just literally, what is the thing you're going to do? 어떡하다 also comes from 어떻다, to be how. So this is more in what way are you going to do it? Kind of like saying 어떻게 하다, although it's not quite the exact same thing. 어떻게 하다. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to do that? But it has a really common use. So when Korean people say 어떡해, 어떡해요, they're not literally most of the time saying, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to do anything about it? You know, they're expressing their sadness. And a good translation for this in English would just be like saying, oh no. Like, oh no. Oh no. Like, what are you going to do? Like that sort of sense. What are you going to do about it? Or even, I'm sorry, as in, what should I do? Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm so sorry. Like, or what are you gonna do? I'm so sorry to hear that. What are you gonna do? Kind of like that sense. It's used for expressing it's used for expressing that you're slightly sorry about something without being overly formal. You can say 어떡해요 or just 어떡해 to your friends to say, oh, I'm sorry about that, right? You're not apologizing for something. If you're apologizing, you want to say 미안해요 or, 미안해, like that. But if you're just expressing your sadness for hearing something, oh, your pet hamster died. Oh, 어떡해. 어떡해요. Oh, that's so sad. What are you going to do about it? Literally. Oh, what are you going to do about that? Like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That sort of sense. So that's where you'll hear this the most. But it's not the same as saying 어떡해 as in the adverb form of 어떻다, which just means how. So yeah, focus on that. And let me give you an example sentence. Let's keep that in. 어떡해요. 생일 is someone's birthday. 생일. It's my birthday this week. 생일을 모르다, to not know. So literally, if you don't know someone's birthday, it could be my birthday, it could be anyone's birthday. 생일을 모르면 어떡해요? Like, oh no, you don't know someone's birthday. What are you going to do if you don't know someone's birthday? How are you going to take care of that? Like, oh no. What if you don't know someone's birthday? As in, this would translate more naturally as like, how could you not know my birthday or his birthday or her birthday? So like, oh no, you don't know a birthday. So maybe you ask your friend when their parents' birthday is. And they're like, oh, I actually don't know. And you say, 생일을 모르면 어떡해요? Although you wouldn't say yo to your friend. So you ask someone like, 생일을 모르면 어떡해요? 생일을 모르면 어떡해? Like oh no, you don't know their birthday? Like what are you going to do about it? Like that sort of sense. Like, oh no, like it's something bad. Like what are you going to do? I don't know what you're going to do. You should not know someone's birthday in that sense. So like literally, what do we do if you don't know my birthday or if you don't know their birthday, something like that. Or, oh no, you don't know that birthday. Like that. So yeah, 어떡해요 can also be used in that sense. So it's expressing that sort of like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There's like trying to be like Seinfeld. What are you gonna do? Oh no! Like that sort of feeling is what the 어떡하다 verb has to it. Okay, and remember again, just saying this again, just in case, it is an action verb, always. It is not a descriptive verb. It's not an adverb. So you wouldn't say 어떻게 만들어요. How do you make it? That doesn't make any sense. It has to be 어떻게 with the other one. Oh, JMC. 안녕하세요. 여자친구가 미국 사람인데 빌리 동영상 보면서 공부 잘하고 있어요. 한국 사람이세요? JMC 씨. JMC님. 오. 감사합니다. Thank you, JMC. JMC. It's funny, he's like, my girlfriend's American, but I'm watching your videos to study English. You're not the first person to study English with my videos. 정말 제 유튜브 보면서 영어 공부하고 있다는 사람들이 생각보다 굉장히 많은 것 같아요. Okay. All right. Next part. All right, and we are behind on time, but it wouldn't be a Go Billy lesson if we were not behind on time. Right, guys? Okay. Next, we're going to be learning again about 이렇다, 그렇다, and 저렇다. We're going to be learning about their adjective forms. Oh, I didn't give JMC a dab. Thank you, JMC. I forgot to give you a dab also. Dab 하는 거 깜빡했네요. Okay. The adjective forms of these Can we see down there? Yeah, okay. 이런, 그런, 저런, 어떤. Remember, because it has different. So, 렇다 becomes 런, and 떴 becomes 던. So it really does look like all you do is you remove the here and you attach a nian to get their adjective form. So it's nothing crazy. Okay. In the adjective form, again, 이, 그, 저. Now we have all, which is like what or how, right? In what way, in how like that. 이, 그, and 저. This, close to me. This, again. That, close to you. That. 저, farther from both me and the listener. So something that's not close to me and something that's not close to whoever I'm talking with. 저, over there. In that way. So 이런 means this kind. This kind, as in like this kind of what? These are all adjectives, so they have to be used before a noun. I'll put N. So adjective plus noun. So you'll say 이런 something. You're not just going to say 이런 by itself, or else, well, there is an expression 이런 that's like, dang it, but that's a shortened version of 이런 noun. Instead of saying the swear word, they just leave it blank. Anyway, we talk about that later after the lesson if you want to know. So this kind of, or this sort of. So the key to understanding all of these, kind of or sort of, like this kind of person, this kind of pen. Not just saying this pen, 이 pen. Now you're saying 이런 pen, this kind of pen, you know, with the blue pen, or this kind of big pen, this kind of a marker that is erasable, this kind of pen, or this kind of paper, you know, this really thin paper. Not just 이 종이, not just this paper literally, but this kind of paper, right? This kind of whiteboard. 그런, that kind of, that sort of pen, that sort of paper. 저런, that kind of bookcase, that kind of light, that kind of thing, that kind of pen. 어떤. What kind of pen? 어떤 pen? What kind of pen? Or how? Like in what way? What kind of? That sort of sense. What sort of pen? Like a store employee might ask you, what sort of color do you like? Not just what color do you like, right? They might ask, what sort of color? What sort of pattern would you like, right? You can say, oh, I like checkered patterns. They're not asking you what pattern do you like. 무슨 패턴을 좋아하십니까? 무슨, you know, what kind of 문양, 무슨 문양을 좋아하니? They're not going to ask you directly what pattern. They want to know what kind of, what sort of, you know, give me some information. In what way? How? Tell me more about this kind of pattern. So 어떤, what kind of pattern do you like? What kind of pen? 이런, this kind. I like this kind of pattern. I like this kind of pen. 그런, that kind that you have right now. That kind. I like that shirt. I like that kind of shirt. 그런 셔츠. 저런. Over there, there's that thing on the wall, maybe right next to us. It's a few feet away, but it's there. It's not next to you. It's not next to me. 저런 색깔이 좋아. I like that color. I like that 색깔, that color, that thing, something. Okay, so we're going to do some examples with these now. Okay. Hold hold on. Let me check. Check to make sure my air conditioner's still on. Let's put it on 75. Let's check the chat for a second. You don't. Yeah, but all of them can. The reason is it's not the word that has the meaning. 이런 itself doesn't have that meaning. It's just 이런, this kind of, and then you would normally swear or say whatever it is, like this kind of bad person, this kind of jerk, like in that sense. But you're not saying that word, you're just saying 이런, like that. In that way, it's used as an exclamation. Or 저런, like that kind of, like that. Same sort of meaning. But the word itself doesn't have that bad meaning in it. It's just the way that it's used is like you're cutting off what you're saying without saying that negative noun that would come after it. Okay. 이런 것. You can also say this kind of thing. So we have here 이런 것, this kind of thing. 이런 것은 becomes 이런 건. So we have 이런 건, this kind of thing. 처음. Remember? The first time. 처음 means the first time. 처음 봤어요. 이런 건 처음 봤어요. 이런 건 처음 봤어요. Literally, this kind of thing I saw for the first time. 이런 건 처음 봤어요. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this. So your friend brings a pen. And you're like, wow, what is this? I can write and I can erase? Wow, what is this magic? Oh, 이런 건 처음 봤어요. This is my first time ever seeing not 이것, you're not just saying this thing, but this kind of thing, right? This sort of thing. You could have also said, one more time. 이런 건 처음 봤어요. It's my first time seeing something like this. If you wanted to be more specific, you could even say, 이런 pen 처음 봤어요. This is the first time I've ever seen this sort of pen. But we're just using it here for 것, just so you can use it for anything. 이런 건 처음 봤어요. So this kind of thing, this sort of thing, 처음 봤어요. I saw for my first time, literally. I just saw this for my first time, or this is my first time seeing this kind of thing. 그런, that kind of, 말. Now, 말 literally means words. Oops, 만. 말 literally means words or speech. But when you're talking about something a person says, something a person says, in English we would just say thing. He said a nice thing. He said something strange. In Korean, they don't say 것. They don't use thing for a speech. They use thing for other things, not speaking. For speaking things, they always use 말. So 그런 말, that kind of thing. But now it's something you say. 그런 말. 그런 말은. So as for that kind of thing, as in something someone says, 믿으면, if you believe it, literally, 안 돼요. It is not good. It is not going to become. So you should not, 믿으면 안 돼요. You should not believe that sort of thing. As in that sort of thing that someone says, because it's 말. So that sort of word, that sort of speech. You should not believe that sort of thing. 그런 말은 믿으면 안 돼요. 그런 말은 믿으면 안 돼요. You should not believe that sort of thing. 그런 말. That kind of thing. That kind of, or that sort of thing. As in literally that sort of words. Those sort of words. Those kind of words. So something that someone says to you, did you know that there's a pyramid on Mars? 그런 말은 믿으면 안 돼요. You shouldn't believe that sort of thing. Or just, anything that someone says you don't really want to believe it. 그런 말, those kind of things. 믿으면 안 돼요. You shouldn't believe that kind of thing. And since it's 그, this would not be me talking about my own thing, something that I'm hearing, but it's in reference to someone who I'm talking with. So someone tells me, I heard this. Did you hear? We say, 그런, that kind of, you. I'm talking with you. 그런 말은 믿으면 안 돼요. You're not saying that someone else believes, right? You're saying you're in reference to the person you're talking with. Okay, and next, now we have 저런. So 저런 again is that kind of, but it's that kind of, not next to me and not next to the speaker and not next to the listener. So it's that kind of. 저런 사람. Now I should make a note. If you're calling a person 사람 directly to their face, it's rude. If they're even within earshot, it's rude. You should never call someone like 이런 사람 or 이 사람 or 그 사람 like that or 저 사람. If you ever want to be polite, never do that. It's okay for like friends, like for just random strangers that you don't care about being polite to, especially if they look like you're similar, especially if they look a similar age to you, it's okay. But if you want to be polite, never say 사람 for someone else. You would want to say 분, which is polite. So you could say 저런 분 if you're like directly talking with them and you want to sound polite, like I'm respecting them, I'm calling them 분. It means the same thing as 사람, but it's polite. So anyway, this sentence though, we're not being extra polite. We're just saying 저런 사람, like that kind of person. So because it's 저런 사람, it's not going to be in a positive usage most of the time. 저런 사람은. So like 철수 같은 사람. Remember our friend 철수. 저런 사람은, that kind of dude, that kind of guy, that kind of person. 저런 사람은 만나다, to meet, 만나지 마세요. So do not meet that kind of, that sort of person. So it's not you. I'm not talking with you. I'm not giving an example. I'm talking about someone else. Someone not physically and not even metaphorically next to me or the listener. 저런 사람은 만나지 마세요. Don't meet that kind of person. So maybe you're sitting down with your coworker and your coworker's telling you about a guy they met and you're like, oh, that sounds great. And then suddenly a weird person walks in through the door who's like really mean. And then you're like talking with your coworker. You're like, 저런 사람은 만나지 마세요. Don't meet that kind of person, right? That. They are far away from me and far away from you. They're not in our vicinity. They're over there. So don't meet that kind of person. 저런 사람은 만나지 마세요. 저런 사람은 만나지 마세요. Don't meet that kind of person. That kind of person. 이, 그, 저. Notice how when you understand 이, 그, 저, the other three kind of seem to make a bit more sense instead of just kind of trying to learn them separately. Okay, but we're not done. And last for this part, we still have some more stuff to do. 어떤. Remember I said 어떤 means like what kind of, right? What sort of, or what kind of. 어떤, so what kind of 선물, what kind of present. 어떤 선물을 사다, to buy, 샀는지. Now, if you don't know this, 는지, I do have a full live stream about it. It's a very detailed topic. There are many ways it can be used. So don't ask about that today. Check out my live stream and it will make sense. But I cannot explain it really quickly here. 어떤 선물을 샀는지 궁금해요. I am curious. What kind of, 어떤 선물을 샀는지, you bought, 사다, past tense, 샀는지 궁금해요. If you don't know this 지 and you want to think of the sentence in another way, you can just think about it as like 샀어요. 어떤 선물을 샀어요? What kind of present did you buy? 어떤 선물을 샀어요? 어떤 선물을 샀어요? It's weird when I'm trying to say things slowly. 어떤 선물을 샀어요? 어떤 선물을 샀어? What kind of gift did you buy? 어떤 선물을 샀는지 궁금해요. I am curious. What kind of, 어떤, what sort of present? Again, 어떤 is an adjective, so it's always going to come together with a noun. You're not going to say 어떤이에요? Like, what kind is it? That doesn't make any sense. You could say 어떤 거예요? What kind of thing is it? Like, what is it? What kind of thing is it? 어떤 거예요? 어떤 펜이에요? What kind of pen is it? But it's always going to come before an adjective. 어떤 선물. Here, what kind of present? 어떤 선물을 샀는지 궁금해요. I am curious what kind of present you bought. What sort of present you bought. Okay. that is it for the beginning forms. But we do have, I want to spend 10 more minutes and I want to talk about something else for intermediates there. So if you're a beginner and you have some questions about today's lesson, hold them for 10 minutes. I'm going to do a quick intermediate note and then we're going to go do some Q&A for any questions. We're going to talk really quick about iroda, kuroda. If you're a beginner, you don't need to learn these because they might just confuse you if you're just learning about irota for the first time. But there are another set of verbs, iroda, kuroda, choroda. Now, iroda means to do. Actually, let me write down their full forms because these are actually shortened versions of longer forms. This is iri hada. Again, from iri, as in this way. Iri hada, kuri hada. These are older forms of so, like irota, iroke, kuroke, choroke. These are older forms that I'm writing down here. And then tori hada, I believe. Double check. Yeah, tori hada. Okay, this is the full version of it, but you're not going to ever see this. You're not going to ever see these forms, but this is where they came from. Again, this is for intermediate. So if you're beginners, I'm going to try to confuse you because we're going to just go full intermediate right now. Okay, iroda. Not to be like this so much. It's more to do. To do like this. To do like that. To do like that. And these all work the same if you understand this. To do. These are action verbs. These are action verbs. Similar to saying iroke hada, kuroke hada, choroke hada. To do in this way, to do it in that way, like that. These also conjugate. The exact same way as the other verbs we did. So sometimes you might see, especially kureo, sometimes you might see these, and if you're still a beginner, you might think, oh, kureo, that must be kurota, to be so. But wait, that doesn't make any sense in this sentence. Sometimes you'll find sentences where it doesn't make sense. It's because it's not kurota, it's a different verb, kuroda. Notice it's the exact same thing without this. The exact same thing, chorota, but without the hia, Iroda, kuroda, choroda means to do like this. Just like you had otokada, to do how, and otota, to be how. You also have these three, which are the other to-do versions of these verbs. These are very useful, so I'm going to give you an example. So all of these translate as to do like this, to do like that, or to do like that. Let me give you an example. Oops, just erase the A in Alex Full Metal. Go put that back. Okay, make sure everyone's doing okay. Oh, hey, Beatriz. I didn't see you come in. Beatriz Napoli. Okay. I have to erase fast or this thing will just smear. If I erase slowly, it just smears like the ink back, and then I have to throw it away every single week to get a new one. I really do throw it away every week. Okay. Let's see. Let's give a basic example. Kurochi maseo. Literally, not don't be like that. It's do not do that. Kuroke haji maseo. Don't do it like that or don't do that. Kuroji maseo. Kuroji maseo. Now, this, although these mean to do like this, to do like that, most of the time they are used in a specific way. To say something. Kuroji maseo. Don't do that. Don't do it like that. But let's do a different example. most of the time these are not used. These are not the regular way you're going to tell someone don't do that or don't do this like that. You would normally just say 이렇게 하지 마세요. 그렇게 하지 마세요. 그러지 마세요 is more of like don't do it in that. Don't do it like that. Don't be like that in that sort of sense. But these are more often 이러다, 그러다, and 저러다 are most often used to say this or to say that. As in 말하다. And in fact, that's what these three are really commonly used for. So 이렇게 말하다, 그렇게 말하다, or 저렇게 말하다. To say this, to say that, like that. To say something in that way. So let me give you an example of that. And this is used all of the time in conversation. It's not written this way as much, especially in formal usage. You will not see this in polite or formal usage. This is more of an informal, spoken way of saying to say something, especially with quoting forms. 새로운 빵집 is a bakery. 새로운 빵집. 빵집이 내일, tomorrow. 문, their doors. 열다, to open. 열 거라고. 열 거라고. See how am I in space? Okay. First, let's just do this. 했어요. Or 말했어요, right? Okay, let's take a look at this basic form first. 새로운 빵집이 내일 문을 열 거라고 말했어요. The new bakery says 말했어요 that 내일, tomorrow, 문을 열다, to open their doors. 문을 열 거라고. They will. 것이라고, future tense. They said they will open their doors tomorrow. So the new bakery says they'll open their doors tomorrow, right? Perfectly fine. Well, if you're intermediate, which you should be if you're listening to this, you know you could also just say 했어요, right? You don't have to say 말했어요. 새로운 빵집이 내일 문을 열 거라고 했어요. Totally fine. And this is fine for writing too. But with the exact same meaning and a little bit more informal sounding, you can also say this. 새로운 빵집이 내일 문을 열 거라고 그랬어요. 그랬어요. To say that. They said that. That. A new bakery said they will open their doors tomorrow. They said. 그랬어요. They said that. So that's just another usage of 이러다, 그러다, and 저러다. That's, like I said, it's not something beginners really need to worry about. But yeah, so most of the time, these 이러다, 그러다, and 저러다 words are just used with quoting to say that someone says or said or will say something. And you won't see this in writing too much. It's mostly just a spoken, informal form. But it's not slang, it's not rude, but it's not especially formal. All right. Oh, and then one more quick thing. James asked me to talk about 요렇다. 요렇다. Sorry, 요렇다. So, just like we had 이렇다, 이렇다, you also might see 요. Why can't I write? I need to slow down. 요렇다. Now, 요렇다 conjugates as things, you get things like 여기, like here. 요런, this kind of. And 요렇게, this way, like this. Or 요, just this, if you're using it as an adjective. It's the same meaning as 이렇다. Exact same meaning as 이렇다. But it's a spoken only casual form. I won't say that. I won't say casual. I'll say that's not the right word because casual makes you think of like slang. It's a spoken informal form version of 이렇다. And it has a cutesy sound to it, like a comical. It has a comical sound and also a bit of a, a bit of a rough sound too. So it's not like soft sounding, like here, there. It's more like here, there. But it has a funny sound, kind of like dialect. Like some dialects, it sounds like harsh, but even though it sounds harsh, it kind of sounds funny. That's what this is. So it's just a harsher but funny sounding, informal spoken form of saying 이렇다. So all of the forms apply. 요, 요런, 여기, especially 여기. So if you're, you're like hitting your girlfriend's back like this, like giving her like a massage with your hands, and she's like, oh, yogi, 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 like right here, right here, right here. It's just a comical, spoken, informal way of saying here, 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 kind of like that. Oh wow. Whoa! I just dropped my pen. Oh no. Dropped my pen. Whoa! Cameron! Have you been in here before? I don't know if I've seen you. I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Dang. Cameron. Hold on, Cameron. Wow. I didn't think I'd get two producers here. We had Becca. Oh, I didn't write Becca over here also. We had Becca here. And then we have Cameron. Whoa. That's insane. You didn't leave a note. Hold on, or did you? Did you leave a message? Anything you want to say? I watch your videos religiously. Oh, I think I saw one of your comments. Yeah. I replied to one of your comments, or two of your comments, just a couple days ago. I do remember. You were asking about the Korean test video, and then you mentioned something about using two topic markers or two markers in the sentence. And I said I'm uploading a video about it tomorrow, which, yes, you can use multiple topic markers in the same sentence. I just talk about how you use it for contrast. Whoa, thank you. We got to do a special dab also for Cameron. Let's see, we got. Yeah, kimchi and the stars. Oh wait, that's all. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Wow. Okay, that is our lesson for today. I'm joining with you on this dance. Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. I don't get big donations like that too often, but yeah, that's definitely shocked me. Okay, that is our basic lesson today. But someone had a question about something else, and yeah. Feel free to ask me any questions, whether about the lesson or about anything. And I'd like to answer a few questions until 3:30, so 15 more minutes. And then after that, I think Talk to Me in Korean is going to do their live stream, so we can all go over there and bug them, ask them lots of questions. Oh yeah, Ocean Discovery. Anki Deck. So Ocean Discovery asked me, how do I organize my Anki? How do I make vocabulary flashcards? I use a program called Anki, but it doesn't have to be. You can use literally anything. So here's a flashcard. This is one side one, and the other reverse side. So let's say I'll learn a word. Let's try to think of an example. Okay. Korjan. I'll just do an example of a word that I learned last week or whatever, a few days ago. So korjan is a fracture, bone fracture. So the actual word is just fracture. But if you say fracture, you might think, oh, what is it? A fracture of a pen? A pen fractured? The ground fractured? No. Specifically, you should know what it means when you use it. So I saw it in context, where they were talking about a medical diagnosis for a patient in a Korean game I was playing. And it's a bone fracture. And the way you know that is because there's a hancha kol, which means bone. I can't draw it. Let's just pretend I drew the hancha for kol and the hancha for chon. I can recognize them. Wait. Chol. Haha. I was joking. I was like, wait, that's not the right word. Let me just double verify this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 콜절. I almost taught you guys wrong. Anyway, yeah. 절 is a hancha for break. And 콜 is a hancha for bone. And I already know those. They're used in other words. So I'll write down the hancha with it because that helps me memorize that, oh, bone break. But I won't write it down here. I want to make sure they're separate. Only English stuff here. I would also write down, if I had it, a sentence that I found it in. Something, 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 you know, 콜절, whatever, bone fracture, diagnosis, or whatever, you know, whatever sentence I found it in, just for example. And then if I needed more information on how I'd use it, I'd write that also in here. So it would be like, of, like that. And then up here, I would have a matching note that would have like, 의, you know, the particle, 의, or a, like in somewhere like that. So I would make sure I have notes about how I can use it. If it's a word that I can't use, this is maybe not the best example because this is pretty straightforward. Let me try to find actually one of my actual Anki notes so I can copy it down. Give me a sec. I would have straight up thought bone. Yeah, you probably would. And when you write it down, you would write down, oh, that means fracture, easy. But then later, when you're reviewing this, you'd be like, oh, fracture, like there was a fracture in time. You know, there was a fracture in the ground. You know, fracture can have lots of different meanings. But no, this is specifically 콜, bone, fracture. So that's how you can learn it. Let me find an example of something I did recently. Let's see, created, time. Just trying to find an example of one where I wrote down a example sentence. Okay. Let me do one that I did kind of recently. 발령. 발령 is an assignment. I wrote down 발령이 나다. Because it's not just 발령 나다, then I might think it's all one verb. This lets me know it's 발령. It's going to be probably a 한자 word plus 나다. So now I know it's going to be also an intransitive verb. If you know these terms, it helps. That means it's not used with, it's not like you're transferring someone, you're not assigning someone, but it's to be assigned. So like passive tense in that sense. So 발령이 나다, to get an assignment. And then I also wrote in notes, 으로, meaning toward. So this is the particle I know that means to be assigned to. So you would have a location to 서울, like 서울, 부산. 부산으로 발령이 나다, to get assigned to Busan. So I write here to be assigned, to be appointed to, you know, however you want to write it down. Or transferred to, maybe transferred. I'll also write them down in the order that I think is the most accurate. So if I look up in the dictionary, it says to be appointed to and then to be assigned to. And I think, you know what? It seems assigned to is probably the best word. Then I'll put that first. Then when I look at the card, I always have alternate translations, but at least I know the most common one that it's used with. So assigned, and then I'll write after here to, like that. So then I know there's going to be a matching note in the other side that shows how to say to. So if I just learned it like to be assigned, well, how would I ever say that? 발령이 나다. Well, maybe you can understand if someone else uses it, but you wouldn't be able to use it yourself. But now that we have how to use it, now you can use it. So I was assigned to Busan. Then you now know you can say, 부산으로 발령이 났어요. I got an assignment. Literally, a assignment, 나다, came up. A transfer came up to Busan in that sense. In this case, I don't even need an example sentence because it's a simple usage. But if there's another word that you don't know how to use it, let me see if I can find an example of a sentence I wrote down. Yeah, like another word I wrote down is kanakada. Kanakada is just another word for evil or wicked or something like that, malicious. But then how would I ever use that myself? So I wrote down a sentence. I have kanakan miso. So a wicked, a malicious smile. So we have kanakan miso가 번뜩였다. So to like flash an evil smile, like sort of that meaning. So you get a sentence if you don't know how to use it. Because if I just wrote down kanakada, I wouldn't know how to use it myself, even if I know the meaning of it. And even if I know grammatically how to use it, it doesn't mean it would be a natural way of using it. So yeah, if you don't know how to use it, write down a sentence. And then I will also write down hanta for everything. Because it's helpful to know, especially when I know the hanta, exactly what it can mean. So yeah, that's just a quick example. I think I also posted some examples in the Discord. But that's what I do for every single vocabulary word. And when you do really detailed notes, you don't need to study as much. You just make the notes. That is your studying. You don't really have to review them much. Like, you will kind of know it if you do a proper study. You can use "que" instead of "chol" when both the speaker and the listener can't see the thing. No, well, the reason is because I guess that's something I was gonna. I asked someone to remind me to explain about, is that something can change between being "chol" and "que" if you're talking about it. Because, like I said, "chol" and "que" can be an "e." They're not just the physical distance, the physical location of something, but also the metaphorical location of something, as in, whose mind is it in? So if it's not a physical object, if it's a thought, well, it could be "chol 생각," that thought, until you have it. Now it's "그 생각," right? So if someone's saying something that they heard someone say, like, oh, I heard that Charsu said that. Well, you can say "chol," or you can say "그." Are you referring to the thought in Charsu's mind, or are you referring to the thought in the person that's now telling it to you's mind? So you could use both in that sense. So maybe that's what Hyunwoo is talking about, because you can't see it, right? You can't see the thought, you can't see the idea, but do you want to refer to it as being something far away from you? Like, that. Don't even think about that. It's over there, right? Or no, now you're thinking about it too. So now it's 그 생각, like that. So in that sense, you can move them. But it's not just that you would use "그" because you can't see it. It's more like where is it? Where do you want to imagine that noun? Is it in the person you're talking to, or is it in somewhere else? Like that sort of sense. That's what I wanted to mention at the end of the lesson, if that makes sense. Yes, so you can use them around. Yeah, so they don't always stay as like where they are. And if they're moving, like something is tall, but now it's here, well, now it can be "e" or it can be "그," depending on where it is. Charsu said he was thinking the economy, but now I have opinion in it. "chol" for "그." Well, yeah, if Charsu is talking about, say, the economy, it's like "chol 문제는." So he's talking about that problem, and then he's talking about the economy. Let me try to think of an example when you'd switch it with the economy. Can you give me an example of what you'd be asking? Trying to think of what exactly the situation would be here. But now I have an opinion about it. Well, no, I kind of think I get what you're saying. If you're talking about like that economy, so the economy of Korea, right? 저 경제 or whatever like that. You're talking about that economy. And then your friend's talking about it, and then you want to talk about it also. Well, you could still say "tall." You're still talking about that. Unless your friend is giving some different variation of it, and now you want to talk about what your friend is saying, that economy. Otherwise, you can keep saying "tall." You don't have to move it like that. Like I said, it's where is that idea located? Is that economy over there, or is it the economy something specific that your person you're talking with is describing? Or are they still describing something else? That's how it works. The Sounds of Korean. I think I had that. No. Did I ever own that book? I think I've definitely seen that book. All right. Yeah, any other questions? We got a few more minutes. Let's see. Pwa. Seems like Koreans don't really pronounce the W sound in words like pwa, tue, kren. They do, but it's not like pwa, pwa, pwa so much. The reason is if they're speaking slowly, they'll say 이거 pwa. But they don't. They usually say 이거 파, 파. But it's still not the same as 파, 파. They're not going to say 이거 봐. They're not going to say 이거 봐, unless they're speaking really quickly. It's still going to be 파, 파. It still has that slight W sound in it, but you're right that it's not strong. But other words, it definitely does. 왜. It's not it's 왜. Tue. When people speak it quickly, it's 돼, 돼요, 안 돼요, 안 돼, 안 돼. But when they're speaking at a more regular speed, it's 돼, 돼요, 돼요, like that. 괜찮아 is not 괜찮아 unless you're speaking quickly again. 괜찮아, 괜찮아, 괜찮아. It still has the que sound in it. Still has that W, but it is much lighter. Yes. Someone asked that question. I just scrolled up. That was Fool Fortune asked that. All right. Nice, nice. Is Iri. Iri is yogi. Yogi, here. But iri means this way. Specifically, it's for directions. 저리, over there. They don't use kuri, though, too much. But, kuri would be used for a different situation. Iri is also used for this direction. This way. Iri, this way. 저리. Over there, that way. So someone might say 저리 가, like get out of here, like go off over there, right? 저리 가, 저리 가. Or 이리 와. Or 이리 오세요, 이리 오세요. But 이리 and 저리 are still not formal words. These are only informal. It's kind of like casual, something you would say to a friend or a kid. If you're trying to speak more politely, you'd actually use 이쪽 or 그쪽, 저쪽. Literally this way, that way, like that. But those also come from the same three things, 이, 그, and 저. Not a question, but I sent one of your videos to my Korean teacher because I asked her about negative verbs and used your videos as reference. Nice. Beatrice. Yeah, someone yesterday told me, they're like, my teacher just plays your videos in class. And I'm like, I never thought about that. That's pretty weird to think if I was taking a Korean class and I saw some guy on YouTube's video teaching. It's kind of weird. Get caught up in grammar points and example sentences I haven't learned yet. Yeah, that's normal. I do too. If I find a grammar concept I don't know, I still learn new grammar stuff sometimes. Less often than I'll learn vocabulary, but yeah, it's normal. It'll get less common though. Like I don't commonly encounter grammar I don't know. But it still happens sometimes, like really less commonly used stuff. Or maybe I've heard it and I know what it means, but I don't ever use it myself, so I don't really know it. Sometimes that happens too. Is my last name really Go? No, it's not a real last name. If I were a Korean, then my last name could really be Ko. Yes. How did you learn the Hanja? How did I learn? I've been learning Hanja since 2003 because I started with Japanese. And I've been interested in it for a long time. So yeah, I just like Hanja. And I don't know all of them. I at least know the sound and the meaning of at least half of the commonly used ones. But reading and writing, I only know maybe, I don't know, 500 at most, maybe a little more than that. But yeah, not all of them for reading and writing though. Would you prefer us to join on YouTube or Patreon? If I can pick, Patreon, because Patreon pays me more of the percentage. But either, whatever's convenient. I mean, I'm just happy. If you guys have extra money to support me, that's great. You know, join YouTube, Patreon, donations, buy my merchandise. But if you just want to straight up give me money, donations are also fine on my website or Patreon. They only take like 10%. Yeah. Either one, I don't mind. I also just appreciate you guys watching. I like having people in here to listen. It would be really sad if I was teaching and there's like no one in the chat. So yeah, I like seeing the chat like going up while I'm doing live stream. It feels good. Yeah, yogi is a comical way of saying yogi. That's right. Yeah, kind of like a comical, but also a harsh. And you can say it. In fact, Koreans would like it if you say yogi or yo, like that. Oh, y'all is slightly different. So you might hear y'all, not you, but y'all. This is just dialect. So instead of E, you might hear y'all. 요건. As in 요 것은, 이 것은. 요 pen, this pen. That's more of a dialect version. I find myself sometimes saying that. But it's yeah, that's not a slang. That's just more of a dialect thing. Talked about that around an hour and a half. I did. Did I? Joshua, let's see. What did he ask? Yogi the same. Oh, yeah, I did talk about that a little bit before. Cool, yeah. So, any other quick questions? Quick questions before we go. Keycat. Oh, Keycat, you came back. So, what were you doing? Just running around the fields? Okay, that's cool. Well, yeah, we had a good lesson, Keycat. We got lots of donations. Yeah, that's good. Okay, Keycat just is gonna. Keycat says she's just gonna run off and buy lots of stuff. No, Keycat, you can't do that. So yeah, any other quick questions before we go? How are 만큼처럼 같이 different? Pay1, I did a live stream about those. I think. Check out the Google document that I link in every community post on my community tab in my channel. And you can search those words and you'll find a live stream I did about that. Can you teach about 동안? I did teach about 동안. Yes. Let's see. I'm the Brazilian girl who reached out to you on Facebook. Who? What was your question? It's not Father's Day. Yeah, Father's Day is next week, actually. But thank you. And it's okay to say that because next week we won't have a live stream. Yeah, next week there will be no live stream. So they're just saying Happy Father's Day in advance. Appreciate it. When do we use Sino-Korean and pure Korean numbers? Check out my live stream playlist and you'll find that video. I did a full live stream about numbers. What was my curriculum? I'm not sure what you mean. Would you want to learn Japanese again? I do. But I'm so busy making Korean content that I wouldn't have the extra time. And I still remember how to understand it and read it. My speaking, though, is not very good. Yes. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you, Chocolate Banana. All right. Yes, so thanks everyone for coming. Thanks. Oh, yeah, let me give you an extra shout out to the supporters for today. Yuki, who supported even while I was still getting set up and I didn't even have my hat on yet. Cheryl, new member. Tash, new member. Owain, Ocean Discovery. Caesar, new member. Sarah, new member. Alex, Full Metal. Oops. I erased your A again. Just says Lex Full Metal. Carrie, JMC. And then our special producers today, Becca and Cameron. Thanks all for coming, and I'll see you guys again next time, which will be 2 weeks from today. Also, make sure to check out the Discord channel for updates. You can ask questions there, interact with other Korean learners. Check the Patreon about 30 minutes from now, and you'll see the outline for today's live stream. You can also already download the worksheet for today's live stream if you want to get some extra practice. And I will see you guys again. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. Okay, Keycat. I guess we can go now. Wait. I guess we should probably bring this too, right? Yeah, let's bring this with us.